So this is where stupid people should not be allowed to live or allowed to interact with me. Kind person put together a intro for me. Also, I get a copyright strike for using it. I'm like, what the hell? What? It's like a guitar riff. I guess it was Led Zeppelin or one of the other. No, what's the one that you have to be high on? Great one loves that. Pink Floyd. Turned out it was a riff for Pink Floyd, and I got copyright strike. Or I got like it was I didn't get copyright. So it was taken down. Says this isn't your stuff. And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, I don't listen to incredibly shitty 70s music that only high people were thinking, "Ew, hey you sitting on the toilet taking a dump. Can you hear me? Let's give them millions of dollars." Anyway, dipshits, don't send me shit that's copyrighted. How's that? Fucking Christ. So we have requests, and if you have requests, you could always go to assholeconsulting.com. This comes from our regular East Indian agent in the field. Dear Clary, if I paid you, would you review a Dragon Ball movie? Sincerely, Rush. I said, man, how long's the movie? He's like 52 minutes. I say, 85 then. It's not full length. I have to sit for an hour. Blah, blah, blah. Sent, do. The movie is called Lord Slug. So, and it worked great. It worked great because I had to fly out to Vegas to deal with some things. Not least of which is, hey, you. Somebody gave you an intro. It's copyrighted by a shitty 70s band. Hey, you. Sitting in the corner, smoking pot and jerking off with your hand. Hey, you. Boy, I hope that wins some awards. So I go to the airport and I'm waiting. And I'm like, let me look it up. Lord Slug. And by gosh, they happen to have an English dub version available. I'm like, well, my plane ain't gonna be here for 2 hours. And I watched it, and whatever benefits coffee gave me that morning, because the morning flight, whatever hope caffeine gave my brain and my nervous system, my body, oh, it's gonna be a great day. You're gonna go down to the Southern Command, gonna meet up with your buddies, was just beat the shit out of me when I watched it because and I'm gonna hurt a lot of feelings. I know a lot of my this is like if said Cappy, what's your demographic of people who tune into? I mean, like men who grew up watching Dragon Ball Z. Some of the younger ones would be more One Piece pirates, but I mean, it really does. It nails it. That does describe it. Men in their roughly 30s, right? Some of you might be pushing 40. And I am by no means discounting how much of a huge success and popular influence Dragon Ball Z was to boys around the globe. Absolutely. But I was an adult when it kind of came out. Not Dragon Ball. Um, and keep in mind, I'm so old. It wasn't like we had anime all the time. We didn't. You had to get like VHS cassettes mailed across Japan. They weren't dubbed in it. There was it was you guys in one way you guys got to see the explosion of anime. So that was kind of cool to be there for that. But it was not as common as it is today. And I started college. Like I think I've watched 2 episodes of Friends. Um, was the Seinfeld? I've watched maybe 5 episodes of Seinfeld. Like once I started college, that was it. I didn't have time for it. And Dragon Ball Z was one of those things. But it was still kind of unique. Like, oh, anime. That's kind of. I remember Robotech. I remember Translor Z. I really liked it. So once I finally had some time, where I didn't have a daytime job, I think it was the recession or whatever. There was like this nagging desire, like, oh, I didn't get time to watch Dragon Ball Z. It looked pretty cool. Like they're all yelling and screaming and fighting. It's not this like touchy feely, sanitized American cartoon. So I tried to watch it. Oh my god, guys, you got to watch it with adult eyes. They call it Drag On Ball Z for a reason, and it's because it just drags on. I think I got 3 episodes in. I couldn't do it anymore. No, I can't do this. And people have recommended that, look, if they have a video out there where they cut all the smack talk out and it's just the fights, and the fight scenes are pretty good. They're not bad, especially for that time. But no, it's not. It's not that. I thought Battle of the Planets was really good when I was a 3 and 4 year old. I thought it was really scary, and I watched it as an adult. It's horrible. And I was kind of cringing. I'm like, oh God. So I fire it up. I'm like, oh yeah, it's painful. This is made for 8-year-old boys. This is really painful. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with Dragon Ball Z, because it's not meant for adults. It is a perfect and wonderful show. And this movie, Lord Slug, is a perfect and wonderful show for little boys and girls. But it is not for almost 50-year-old men who are tired and sitting in an airport to watch it. So let me, and I'll quickly explain why. It's just written for kids. It is. Um, there's inconsistency. So what ends up happening is they discover there's a comet coming from outer space. And it's going to hit the Earth. It's just going to hit the Earth, and everyone panics and all that. And there's Volma, whatever her name is, the blue-haired gal. I know some of the characters, and she's got a talking pig. And it's just like, oh, janky Scoob, the comet's gonna crash into us. What do we do? And there's Goku and Krillin. I know them, and they're sent out to stop this meteorite from hitting the Earth. They hit it with their blast wave. I guess it deflects it. It comes close enough to Earth that it fucks some shit up, but it doesn't destroy the Earth. And they don't connect it real clearly. But apparently, this is a spaceship for an evil alien called Lord Slug. And he's an old, evil, cartoon villain, bad guy, just evil because he's evil. He's got some henchmen, and he wants to take over the Earth to turn it into a cruiser, I guess a better spaceship than what he had before. I don't know. That Goku's child Gohan, and Volma Bulma, they're the heroes of the show. So they, the bad guy conveniently lands where they can walk to this guy, and they start talking like, "Hey, you, what are you doing on our planet? That's awfully rude." And like, this is, oh my god, oh yeah, yep. Oh, and there's funny third grade level wittiness between the different characters. Um, and the stormtroopers come out of this comet spaceship thing, and Gohan, despite being a little kid, is fighting them off pretty well. And then the bad guy, Lord Slug, sees that Gohan has one of the Dragon Balls. I'm not going to go into that, but if you collect all 7 Dragon Balls, I think it's 7, you get your wish. And he's like, "Oh my god, the Dragon Balls!" And tell me if I'm wrong here, but the whole Dragon Ball series is about collecting them all to release the dragon to grant you your wish, right? Isn't that so? There's like years they're looking for the Dragon Balls. In 2 minutes, he just barks orders to his men: "Find the Dragon Balls and bring them to me." And they do. That was quick. And he's an old bad villain, and he wishes for eternal youth. And now he's really super strong. Ha ha ha! Evil villain laugh. uh, so then what ends up happening? No one dies, of course. Uh, not the main characters anyway. I forget what happens to the pig, the gal with the blue hair, and Gohan. Did he capture Gohan? I'm sure I remember he captured Gohan. No, no. Okay, so I forget how they got away from the bad guy. They did. The guy gets Dragon Balls, turns into a young Super Lord Slug, and Piccolo, who, tell me if I'm wrong, he was the adversary of Goku in the original series, right? But they're friends now. So Piccolo, who's a full strength normal adult guy. Him and Gohan are going to stop the bad guy, and of course, the bad guy's got some henchmen. Lord Slug doesn't come out to fight. You got to have a pre-fight. There's like that first fight before the main event fight. So it's Piccolo and Gohan against three, yeah, three henchmen. Piccolo defeats one guy rather quickly, and then the other two they got trouble with, and they both get beat more or less until Goku and Krillin, the main heroes of our show, they wake up from the throne and they come there and they wipe out the two henchmen that remain, and then they got to fight against Lord Slug. Krillin, I think, gets knocked out early, and then what ensues is, to their credit, a good third of the movie is just a fight. I'm like, okay, that's pretty good. They ebb and flow. This is probably before Super Saiyans because Goku never went Super Saiyan. That's where it turns into blonde hair. Uh, but Goku is fighting Lord Slug. Lord Slug is having the best of him. Goku, just out of pure will to live, is about to be defeated, but doesn't allow him. His aura shines. He starts beating Lord Slug. He's about to kill Lord Slug, but then Lord Slug, haha. Just this happened for 20 years. Lord Slug becomes big and giant because that wasn't his true form. It was all bullshit. He was just playing with you. And Lord Slug is now a giant Lord Slug, and now he really starts beating the crap out of Goku. And Goku's about to die, but then not Krillin. Piccolo, I'll give you my energy, and the power of friends and shit like that. And then Goku gets more energy, and then it's kind of Goku and Piccolo fighting against Lord Slug together. They defeat Lord Slug in outer space at the same time. Oh, by the way, they threw up a device that covered the Earth in clouds, so the Earth is very cold now. Blows up that device and also kills Lord Slug. And funny witticisms happen after. It it is for 7 and 8-year-old little boys and girls. You get heaven points if you watch this with your little kids. Oh, do you want to watch a scary movie? I don't know. I think little kids would love it. Young boys, like, yeah, even under, like, I'd say 13 years old, even. I mean, there's a little bit of violence. I don't know if I'd like a 5-year-old watch it, but yeah, I mean, like 10, 11 years old. They saved the world, and there you go. That was it. Uh, me, if I was rated as an adult, like, it's a 0. Don't watch it. This is not meant for you. But for little kids, sure, 4 out of 5 stars. Why not? I mean, yeah, it's good. It's wholesome fun. It's there's good lessons in Dragon Ball Z. I know. I would say, if you want to go back to 90s anime, a really good one that was done much better that adults can kind of enjoy would be Pokemon. That was always a pretty good show, and I saw a couple of those episodes when I was working security, and it's all right. That's okay. Yeah, Dragon Ball Z though, you gotta be a young kid, young boy to like it. Otherwise, again, not meant for old men. And let's see how many people I offended. Let's be a surprise if you're not already a fan. Don't watch it. Yeah, no, if you're not already a fan, I don't know if I was a kid and I grew up on Dragon Ball Z. I don't know if I'd watch it as an adult. Like, keep the memories happy. Yeah. Da-da-da. Old times, yeah. That movie's 91. Yeah, let's take a look. When was it? Lord Slug, Dragon Ball. What year did it come out? 1991. Yep. So I was in. See, it probably wasn't even in the United States. Released in Japan. Um, watch the Broly movie. I mean, you pay me, I'll watch it. Well, what's shonen? See, I don't know. Bulma, thank you. Yes, Bulma. The Talking Pig Oolong. Working at the game store mid 2000, little kids would come in asking for these games, and we would call it Dragon Balls and piss them. Well, yeah, if you pay me, I'll watch it. I just need to be compensated for my time. If you want to be young again, like Piccolo Daimao, the pig becomes bacon. Could never get in. Yeah, I think you're probably just too old. You have the VHS. Yep. Okay, we are that old. A teenager trying to get into me. Well, people pay me for a lot of things. They pay me for a lot of things. Watch Dragon Ball Z for the sake of nostalgia. Trunks for the androids. Okay, I don't know who Trunks or the androids are. Deep is it? Is it really? Cowboy Bebop is for adults. Dragon Ball Z isn't for adults. It isn't. The only thing I hate about Jesus is no, I know they don't, but neither did they in I would have been. This would be the American equivalent. Would be not Transformers, GI Joe. No one died in GI Joe. We thought it was a great cartoon. I guarantee you, if I watched GI Joe now, it'd be horrible. It'd be horrible. I did like the Castlevania, the first one. Yeah, Torgo, you're my age. Used to watch Robotech, Voltron, and Thundercats as a kid in the 80s. That's about the limit of my anime experience. Yeah, don't. Voltron is still good. Some of Robotech is all right. Thundercats, I haven't seen that as an adult. But man, some of it you don't want to watch it. All right, there you guys go. All right. Questions, answers, hassleconsulting.com. I'll see you guys later. Toodles.